Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, God in the Home. I am Nadine. How are you? If you are new, thank you for stopping by. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe if you like. If you are my regular viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for coming back every single time. I really do appreciate it, you guys. So today, I am going to be giving my testimony of how God made it possible for my husband and myself to own our home that we are now living in. And so we're going to go back to 15 years ago because it's been 15 years now. And it is all by the grace of God, you guys. All by the grace of God. So we started out as a young couple renting. The experiences wasn't all that great all the time. And it is because of that why it pushes us to say, we can't continue this. No, we needed somewhere for ourselves in our own space where we can just be comfortable and be at peace. Because nothing like your peace of mind. Yes, nothing like your peace of mind. So, coming out of one of those not so peaceful situation is what pushes me to say, you know what, Patrick, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. And out of that, I've learned too, because God teaches us many lessons, it's for us to just see them. Family, you see, whenever God wants or has something better for you, when He knows that you deserve it, when He knows that it is time, when He knows that, no, take the step, this is yours. I do not settle right there. I want to give you so much more. But sometimes we just sit down in there. And then so the situation, it gets so uncomfortable. It just not nice. But we still sit down there. Sometimes we try to fix and you do something and it look like it fix and it nice now, but it start get rocky again and rough again, and you keep, it's like you get a cut and you keep dressing it and putting a band-aid, but every time it broke out back and thing. But sometimes when God wants to get our attention, He will allow for our circumstances to be so uncomfortable because He wants us to move, guys. He wants us to move, to step out in faith and take that next step. So, but sometimes we miss the signals, we miss the signs. But yeah, God does operate like that sometimes. Allow us to be in some uncomfortable situation because He wants His children to get so much more. Wants us to get better. So coming out of one of those uncomfortable situations, one day I got home from work. My husband and myself, we got home from work. And family, I think I just had it with this landlady. I just had it. And I remember going into our bedroom. Patrick was outside. I don't remember what he was doing, but I remember going into the bedroom and I just threw myself down on the foot of the floor. I kneel down by the bed. I take my Bible. I just take the Bible and I open it out. I just open it. Never find no passage, none. I just open the Bible and I kneel down, family, because now I was going to pray upon the profession of my faith, because me did need God right so now, because me did just have it. Couldn't take it no more. So I just open up the Bible and I kneel down and I said, God, you have to help me. This was the prayer. I said, you have to fix this. I said, you have to fix this, God, because I can't take this anymore. Because it was just causing me to be upset all the time. You have a good day, you come, and then there was just always something that she would come with or say, or it's just, I just had enough of it. So I said, God, you got to come through. You got to fix this because I cannot take it anymore. I said, God, we need a house. This is what it wasn't I was feeling, it wasn't dear Jesus, I want to come to it. No, I just kneel down there and open the Bible in my frustration, guys. I just said, God, you need to fix this now because I cannot take this anymore. I said, you have to come through for us now. I opened up the Bible, as I tell you, not to no particular thing, but I said, your word said that we can move mountain if we have faith as small as a mustard seed. And I say, I come to you right now, kneeling down right so, with my mustard seed faith, because I need you to come through for us. I'm going to believe in you to come through for us. I say, I need a house. We need a house. My husband and myself, we need a house. And we don't have any money. You know, so me bright and me team. I said, God, we don't have any money, but we need a house. And I said, guess what? I am not going to worry about where the money I going to come from, how the money I going to come from. I said, God, that is not my business. That is your business. You tell me, say me need to have as much as a mustard seed size of faith, and I can move mountain. So I come to you with my mustard seed size faith because I need to move mountain. So God, help. And that was the prayer that I prayed. And when I got up, I called my husband and he came into the room. And I said, Patrick, we are going to go into prayer and fasting. And he said, what is it? I said, I can't deal with this anymore. I said, I just spoke to God about it. I prayed to him about it. I don't know how and where the help going to come from, but God going to have to come through for me. So I say, you and I, starting tomorrow, we are going to go on a 7 days prayer and fasting. We would, at 12 o'clock, we weren't able to come together and think because, you know, the nature of our jobs, but we set the time of when and when we would be praying. We would be praying in the morning, 6 o'clock, before we leave out, and we would pray again at around 10 o'clock, and then we would pray at 12 o'clock, and then we would end the fasting at 1 o'clock, because we never fast for the whole entire day. And at the time, I was a breastfeeding mom too, so, you know, I couldn't go hungry the whole time. I have to eat something. So, yeah, that is how we did set it up. And my husband and myself, we prayed and fasted for 7 days with the need, God's guidance and the need for provision to be made so that we will be able to step out in faith to try to achieve a new home. One for ourselves, because couldn't deal with the landlord's story anymore. It was just too stressing. At the end of the 7 days, guys, I remember a friend of my husband, they went and looked on a car. And somebody was selling a car and they went and looked on a car. We had a car at the time. And whatever they went and looked on the car, and then my husband, whatever discussion was had, and he came back and he said, Nads, we saw this car, XYZ. So what I'm thinking is we're going to sell the car that we have, and then the money from that car, we're going to use it to purchase a less expensive car and use the rest of the money to get another vehicle, and then we could possibly look into going into a business of buying and selling car, you know, kind of thing. So we said, okay. And that happened at the end of the fasting. So that is where our mindset was. But then you're done praying now, so me stepping out in faith, guys. We start, every time the Sunday Gleaner come, we buy the paper and we will start looking to the paper to see who houses that we're selling and the cost and all of these things. And we would drive around and look at, because some of the addresses there, we would, you know, find the address and we drive around and we go and we look on the houses and, you know, we see the price that them costing. We not have no money now, you know, remember, so we don't have no money, but we start look on house and we start look on price. So we decide now that we're going to go to the loan agency to see how much we will be qualified for, and, you know, based on what our salary was at the time, how much money we'll be qualified for, and if that will be enough for us to be able to purchase a home. So we go and we check it out. And guys, we're just moving our feet with everything, you know. We go and we check. Poor for we look at salary. It was saying that we wouldn't be able to qualified. We would not be able to qualify because our salary was not to the point where they wanted it to be for us to be qualified to get a loan. Anyway, that didn't stop us because remember now I pray and I expecting God to work a miracle. So I still looking, I still looking. We ended up, like I said, we had sold our car, bought a cheaper car, and have money to say buy another car. But we never buy no other car yet. The money that we have to buy the other car, that money was in the bank. So anyway, we went, and when we check out and I couldn't qualify to get the loan, I needed to ask the time off from my work in order to go to the loan institution. So my boss knew that I was going. So when I came back and was there at work, she came over into the office and she says, "Oh, my coworker said to me," and she asked me, my coworker asked me if I gotten through with the loan. And I said to her, "Boy, no, because they said that my salary is not enough for me to get the loan. I needed to be able to, be getting more paid than that in order to qualify for the amount of money and things." So, and she said to me, "So why don't you go and ask the boss for a loan and, and see if, they could give you a loan, to help you to get it and thing." So I said to her, "Boy, I can't really go to them, go ask, because I don't like to ask. I don't like to ask." And same time my boss come over and she said to me, I didn't ask. My boss walked in at the same time and she said to me, "Nance, did you get through?" And I said to her, "Well, no, I didn't get through because they said that I'm not qualified because my salary is not enough." And she said, "Come over into my office and let us talk." So I went over there and she said to me, "So how much would you need to be making in order for you to be qualified?" And I told her, and she said, "All right, let me make a call and get back to you." So the little meeting finished and I come out and went back to work. And then she called me just like within less than an hour. She called me on the intercom and she said to me, "We're going to give you an increase." Look upon God, people. She said, "We're going to give you an increase. That way, you will be better able to be qualified to get the home." So right there, so and then that God start work on the thing. So I getting an increase of salary now that I just getting because I wasn't able to qualify for the house and got up on the job already. So anyway, I was so happy I got the increase and all of that, and we went back and we said yes. We showed them, when I at the time, not by the end of the month when I received my salary, I saw that I gotten the increase and everything. So my pay slip now showing me increase and all of these things. So now I'm in a better position too. And this time when I got there, say yes, you qualify and everything. So and then my husband was qualified too, on his side, and then now because we did it jointly. So then now, no, I miss out nothing. So yes, the fact that we now qualify now, we had to go to the company that were selling the houses. Wait, we need for back up little. When we went and the loan agency told us that we were qualified and everything. They tell us the amount of money that we were qualified for. So we start now to look on houses and so within that region, because now we have a budget now what we know we can afford. So we start to look for house within that region. And really for fact, guys, the houses that we were finding in that region were some whole broke down, run down house, Where even if we should get the money and purchase it, we wouldn't be able to live in it same time. It would need a lot of fixing up. It's a lot of work we need to do in order to get it to the stage or to a place where you can actually live in it. Some of them is in some area that we didn't like. We didn't like those areas, so we didn't want it there. And even with that, the houses were not new houses. It would need a lot of work and all of that. So I said, sure. And then we continue now looking in the paper. And then now one Sunday I saw this housing development advertising brand new houses. And you needed to have a deposit. And when we looked at what the deposit was, guess what, guys? You remember we have sold our car and bought a cheaper car and have the rest of the money to set to buy another car that we would use to do some business. The money that we had in the account was the exact amount of money that this housing development company was asking for as a deposit on one of the units if you were interested in the unit. The exact money that we have in the account was the exact money that we saw. So we said, all right then, wonder if we could shift plans a bit and just go and check out this housing thing and kind of pause the other business that we were thinking because we really and truly need a house. So we went to the housing development company, we looked at the model unit and all of that. We fell in love with it and everything and all of these things and everything. Me still I go too fast because there is something me miss out which is very important I have to tell you. So we're backtracking now. During the time between fasting and praying and searching for the houses, I dreamt. I saw a house. And it was a new house and everything. God just showed me this brand new house and this lot in a dream. And God communicates with me in dreams too. Many times, things that I dreams are things that fulfill afterwards. Yes, that happens too. So I saw the house. And during the time we were searching for houses, I said to my husband one of the day, I said, I dream, I see this new house, but boy, the money that they say we qualify for, I don't even think we can buy that house. But so let us look to see if we can find a fixer-upper. But the fixer-upper, them like me say, guys, it's in such a bad state that me no know. We wouldn't be able to live in them for now. So when we saw in the paper, the unit that they were selling and the deposit that they were asking, and they gave the location as to where the model unit was and all of that, we decided that Sunday to just take a drive and drive over to where the place is and look at the model unit. Family, I kid you not. You see, when we got to the entrance of where these houses were being built, the exact house that I saw in my dream, that God showed me in my dream, the houses on this property were the exact thing that God showed me in my dream. The color, the shape, everything. Nothing was different. It's like I am seeing the dream right now as I'm speaking to you. So when we come up to the gate, before we even come in, I said to Patrick, Patrick, this is the house. He said, what are you talking about? I said, you remember I tell you that I dreamed and I saw a house? I said, this is the house that I saw. So I'm sorry. I said, yes, everything that I dreamt about the house, it was the exact thing that I saw. So right there, so again, God is working. So seeing the house, come in, look at it and everything, it was good. So we went to the location and all of that and did the necessary paperwork and everything, made the deposit on it with the money that we had, which was the only money that we have, but we moving in faith. So we take the money and we made the deposit on the property. And after we made the deposit on the property, the lady said to us, okay, so you made the deposit. So now you're going to have to, you have X amount of time to come up with the closing costs. If you do not come up with the closing costs by X date, then you're going to lose the property that you select plus a percentage of your deposit money, because they would have been holding this for you if the time come, the deadline come, and come up with the closing costs. And the deposit at the time that we needed to make was $325,000. That is what we needed to make at the time, and that is what we had in the bank. after we had sold our car and purchased a cheaper one and then still have this money to set to try get another one, 325 Jamaican dollars. And at the time, that's 15 years ago, guys. And we made that and paid that as the deposit. And then now they had said to us that for the closing costs now, we need an additional, oh, was it 180,000? I don't quite remember if it's 180 or 280, but it was another sum of money that we needed to come up with for the closing costs, which we did not have. But I think he say you have, I think it's 3 months or so in order to come up with the money. And if you don't come up with it within that time, maybe it is not even so long, but guys, I don't remember the time frame. But I know that we had to come up with the closing costs, and if you don't come up, you're gonna lose the property that you selected, the lot that you selected, and a percentage of the deposit money because you fall through on that. So we said, okay, we don't know where this money coming from, but we're moving in faith because look here, right along the way, we were believing God for it. We prayed, we fasted, and then we started to move. So went back to my office as always. And, talking with my coworker again and thing and excited, we made the deposit. And I said, but no, we need to make the deposit. I don't know where it's going to come from. And she said to me, go and ask the boss if they can help you. I said, say I have a problem asking people for money. Because guys, that is something I don't do. I don't do that. And how you were going to, we don't grow up asking people for things or begging things or whatever. What you have, you work with what you have. You don't have it, you do without it and kind of things. Yeah. So I grew up with that. So I just couldn't bring myself to go and say, boy, X, Y, and Z. I mean, not wrong in asking for help, but me no know, I have one difficulty. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I can't do it. So I said to her, I can't go and ask. And then she said, no man, ask because you don't want to miss this and whatever. So I said, here, I say, I soon come, I'm going into the bathroom, I'm going to talk to God about it. So I went in the bathroom and I closed the bathroom door because I just saw me and God talk in a matter way. So I said, God, you know that I have a problem to ask for money. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. And I said, but no, we need this amount of money for the closing costs and I don't have it. And I just don't know how to ask. Before I come out of the bathroom, I hear my boss mouth outside into the office and she said, where's Nadine? And my coworker said she's in the bathroom. So at the same time I come out and I say, oh, I am here. And she said, so what? Tell me about the news. Tell me you get you, whatever, whatever. And I said, well, I made the deposit, but they said that we have to pay the closing costs by X time and so on, so on. So I don't know. She said, no, come talk to me over the office. Guys, again, me just talk to God in the sentence and me can't ask. Me don't know how to ask me. Me don't know if you just start to talk because me can't ask. And I didn't even need to ask. My boss came over and she initiated the conversation. She started it. So I was able to just tell her about it. And with that she said, come into my office, let us talk. So I went over there, right behind her, and we sat and we talked. And she said, so how much it is now that you need for the closing costs? And I tell her, and she said, all right, let me see what we're going to do. So she said, so just give me a minute again, me make a call. And she made the call. And she called me and she said to me, all right, she spoke with the manager and they've decided to write me a manager's check of the full amount that I needed. And she said to me, so how you want to pay it back? How you willing to pay it back? And I sit down in the chair like me, dumbstruck. Just like that. She said, don't worry. And this is the same day when I just come back from the office, where they tell us that we need to do it, and if we don't do it, you could lose the property or lose some of the way you pay and whatever. The day never done yet. All of this happening at the same day. So she said, so how you want to pay back the money now? I said, huh? So she said, yes, how you want to pay back? We're going to write you a check for the full amount. So I said, okay. So I said, I'll be able to pay it back like $10,000 per month until I'm finished. She said, okay, that's it. $10,000 per month it is. Settled. And before the day was done, I was handed a manager's check of the full amount And when my husband came for me, we went right back up to the office and presented the lady with the check. The lady was even in shock. She said, but how you guys come back here so quick and you were just here telling me that you don't have. I said, well, I went to my workplace and was talking to my boss and she offered. And she said, what a nice boss. She said, I would want to know that boss and thing. I said, well, of a fact, she really and truly is a lovely person. She is. And she said, well, you guys, there's something about you guys, but I don't know what it is. So I said, well, it's God on the job, you know? And we just kind of pretty much laugh and talk about that. And so we made the deposit. And because we were able to pay the full amount right there and then, not no 3 or 6 months or whenever the time period was, right there and then, no, there was a thing that if you pay it before the time, you don't end up paying the full amount that they tell you you're not going to pay less. You're not going to pay less. So we got back some money from the closing cost money. Don't remember exact how much, but we got back some money. So when I got back to work the following day, I said to my boss, well, the amount that you write, because we paid it so quick and so early, they said that they wouldn't be taking the full amount now. It would be less because we didn't get a long, it wasn't a long period we take to pay it. It was the same time. So they reimbursed us some more money. So I am going to now give you back this. And my boss said, no, you keep it, because when you get a new house, sometimes there are things you need to change. You need to change locks. You need to do certain little things, and you might need this money. It will come in handy. And I said, look at God, man. Look at God. So guys, that is how that aspect of it went. So we do that, and we do all of this paid on it, but we still now need to go and do the interview. Yes, we got the confirmation to say we are qualified for X amount of money from the lending agency, but now we need to do an interview that will say, yes, you are now going to be getting this money from us, because qualified based on that, but then now you need to go in depth to let them see if really and truly you can afford to do this. So they gave us a date for that interview. When the date came for that interview, the devil was really trying. It was okay on my part for us to go and meet the lady. We were supposed to meet the lady by 1 o'clock at one of the offices, the loan agency. But at my husband's workplace, his supervisor was giving him a hard time. She knew that he had the appointment. She knew way before. But on the particular day, she was making his life a living hell. I didn't want him to leave. So we end up now, we didn't get to leave on time for us to get there for 1. But we got there still, but a little bit past the 1 o'clock mark. Anyways, when we got there, the person we were supposed to meet with, the security, told us that she had gone on the road to come back. So we were to just sit and wait for her. And we were sitting there and we were waiting. Guys, we were waiting there for hours until it was about like 4 o'clock now. Going after 4 and the place closing up, workers leaving and everything. And we were sitting down there. So while we were sitting there, we saw this lady coming out of the office with her bag and everything about to leave. And she turned to us and she said, can I help you? And we said to her, well, we're waiting for such and such a person, and she said, is she expecting you? She said yes. And the security said that she left from earlier to go on the road, and she said she would be back because she knew she had the appointment. So she said she would have been back in time, so we were to wait. So the lady looked on her watch and she said, you know what, because this, as I tell you, it's closing up time, everybody gone, going home, and we still sitting down there. So she looked on her watch and she said, you know what, you 2 of you come, I will just deal with you guys. And she took us over to her desk and we sit down, and she said, I don't know what it is, but there is something about you too. She said, I would not normally be doing this. Nobody gets me to stay back past my work time to deal with anything like this. She says, as a matter of fact, I would normally be gone already. But she said, I don't know what it is with you guys, but there is something. So my husband said to her, it's not so much about what it is with us, there is something special about you. She said, what do you mean? So I said, there's something special about you. I guess God wanted you to be here at this moment for you to deal with this. She chuckled, but I don't think she really knew exactly where we were coming from. But we sat with her and she took us through step by step, go through our application and all of that. And she said, okay, everything is all right on your part, Mrs. Gordon. And then she looked and she said, this is the last round now, guys, if we don't get this, so we not get no house, So she said, everything is okay on your part, Mrs. Garden. But she said, Mr. Garden, yes, I see where on your in your application, yes, the figure is there, but the figure kind of look a bit exact. Because by the time you take out all them expenses and stuff, it doesn't look like there will be enough spending money, because this is how they do it. They look and they see where you take out your monthly expenses and they don't think you have enough to balance yourself. Then they're going to say, that's not going to work. And then to say, tell me something, apart from what you have here, do you do anything else that, bring in income and these kind of things? And my husband said, yes, I do catering and stuff sometimes. So she said, so did you put it on the paper here? So he said, no, he didn't know he was to do that. He just put, his regular 9 to 5 on there. So she said, no, whatever it is that you do where you earn, you put it there, because they're going to take everything into consideration when they're looking at your application. So she said, are you able to have proof of these things that you do sometimes and whatever? And he said, yes. And then he happened to have something on him at the time and whatever. And she said, okay. So when she saw it and she said, so roughly this is how much you would make whenever you do, we tell him that, he told her that it would fluctuate sometimes because it depends on the job, but pretty much, it is within such and such a range. And she added that information, and then we saw her doing what she was doing, and then she said, okay, now you qualify for it. And we breathe a sigh of relief. We said, oh my gosh. And then she do everything, and she said, okay guys, well, what can I say? Congratulations. You guys are qualified. Now you're going to be able to get the loan or whatever. I tell you guys, that day we felt like we were walking on the clouds. We felt like we were walking on the cloud. We could not believe it. We did not have any money from the get-go. Did not have any money. We only have the desire and have the faith that we know, say, God, we need this and we need it to come through for us. And we stepped out in faith and we watched God took us over all the obstacles. All the obstacles, even giving me our increase, giving me a salary increase in the midst of all of that, just to make sure that I make the qualification list. And the exact money that we sold the car for, that when we were looking, we saw houses that needed to be fixed up before we could look in. And so that means it would cost us so much more, which we never know where to come from. God took us to a place that was brand new, brand new, that the money that we have was enough to make the deposit on that brand new property that didn't need no fixing up. Give me the raise so I could qualify to get the loan. And me and my husband together qualified to get the loan. Cause my boss to come in and said, hey, we will lend you the money to do the closing costs. You just tell us how you want to pay it back. You see, oh God, still prayer and fasting and just trusting him with all your heart. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountain. Just believe, family. Just believe. God's words are true. They will not return to him void. And when you find yourself into some uncomfortable situation, know that God is nudging you because he's saying, my child, don't get comfortable there. I have so much more for you. I want to give you so much more. Guys, this didn't just happen with our house, our living situation. I remember we had a car that was just giving us no hands a problem. Stress we also till every minute the car brought down on the road. Rainfall, the car wet up. You ever see our car a leak? And then it taking water from the bottom. We don't even know where the car take water from. The car was just giving no ends of problem. And when we decided to say, you know what, again, step out in faith, can't bother with this, what God did, he worked it out so that we were able to get a newer car, a much newer car. Much newer car that has served us and continue to serve us. So I have had instances where God caused us to go through some uncomfortable patches But that is when he wants to say, my child, you're staying here so too long. I need to move you. I need to give you something better. But sometimes we still there, I try to hold on and I try to fix the something we just not have no fix to fix. Sometimes something's gonna take fixing and need fixing, but you will know. But a lot of time God just want to give us so much more. We just have to pay attention. So never underestimate the power of prayer and fasting and believing in your mustard seed faith. Step out. Step out. You will be amazed and just watch God work and give you something out of nothing. All right, family? Until next time, see you again on God in the Home. Bye.